Hello guys, what is going on? It is Pineapple Sway here. Today I'm bringing you guys a Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. We're going to be talking about a pretty crazy topic coming straight from the opinion of Pineapple Sway, and that is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is not that bad. Ever since this game has released, it has gotten nothing but negative feedback. You can see it on the Discord, you can see it on the internet, you've seen it through reviews, you've seen it through various YouTubers online trying to get famous and make clickbait titles. I mean, everywhere you go, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is not only known as the worst superhero game of all time, but known as the worst video game of all time, known as the biggest flop of all time, known as woke garbage. Sweet Baby Inc. this, Sweet Baby Inc. that. And I'm just here to say that Suicide Squad is not that bad. Yes, this game is severely flawed and it has tremendous problems. And I honestly could not explain to you as a fan of the game why Rocksteady went with this idea when we could have gotten something like, I don't know, Justice League, Superman. I mean, although I'm not really big on the Superman train, it's just they took a risk. They took a calculated risk. They stepped out of their comfort zone. They're known for making single player based story games, and they took a risk making a live service looter shooter. And it's clear and it's true that this game was not successful at all. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But ever since this game came out, I just, I've never understood the hate, because honestly, if you turn your brain off and you just play this game for what it is, it's a lot of fun. Do I sound like an idiot saying that? Yeah, probably, but I would say a good majority of people would agree with me that if you just play this game for what it is, for its looter shooter elements, it's a lot of fun, and it's really good in terms of looter shooter. It's clear that Rocksteady did their homework and they wanted to make this the best game they could, but also too, everything we know about this game, from development to constant story changes to leadership changing constantly, and WB sort of giving them free reign to do whatever they want, it just stacked to one issue after another. Honestly, I'm surprised that Rocksteady was even able to give us a functional product if you read up on everything that they went through development. It took a long time for this game to really get its way, and in my opinion, it's a bit difficult to see that, hey, this game will slowly disappear off the face of the internet once Season 4 approaches and we reach the end of this game cycle, because, reading from leaks and whatnot, this game had a lot of promise and a lot of potential, but obviously we're not here to talk about that today. We're just here to talk about this game isn't that bad. Now, I'm not going to lie, from a story perspective, this is probably the weakest story that we have gotten from Rocksteady Studios, because a lot of things just don't make sense. After Chapter 3, it kind of just falls apart, and for the worst. Honestly, the first 3 chapters of this game, I would say, are peak Rocksteady and Rocksteady's true ambitions of amazing storytelling. It's clear, and it's a true indicator of the first 3 chapters of the game. But after Chapter 3, when I would say you defeat the Flash, the game just sort of takes a rush. The chapters are shorter, the dialogue's shorter, the missions to get to those next chapters are a lot shorter, and it just feels overly complicated, and it just feels like there's a lot missing than what we got in the final product. Now, I'm not opposed to the live service elements of, hey, you gotta defeat 13 Brainiacs, but it also too brings up the question, why did they come up with 13 Brainiacs? There's just so many questions if you sit back and really think of it from I guess, writer's perspective, from, true critique. The story really doesn't make any sense. But I'm not gonna lie, man, is it fun running around throwing Firefly grenades and blowing up the entire map. It just sort of activates all of the cogs and gears in my brain, and it makes me just makes me go crazy. It's a lot of fun. And also too, should this game maybe could have been free to play? We really don't know. And back to what I was saying, like, there's just a lot of things that this game could have been, should have been, would have been, maybe if they took this direction, maybe if they did this, maybe if they did that. But it's just the fact that, hey, we'll never know, and this is what we got. And it's just the fact that if you read up on everything, because it's common knowledge now that this game was just a true disaster during development, it is, like what I said, it is remarkable that we even got a game that was, I would say, playable. And, now we see Rocksteady sort of passing the torch now to, I would say, I could see them passing the torch to a smaller development team, maybe to take this game over, and they're definitely passing it to their interns to take over the game, because we all know now that Rocksteady is working on a new project, which that means whatever they pitched to Warner Brothers Studios ended up being successful, which means the next game they make will be a single player story based game. But we have no idea what it is. We've seen rumors floating around of Justice League, a prequel game, a sequel. We really don't know. And honestly, I've seen a lot of people say that if this game wasn't set in the Arkhamverse, they would love it a lot more. And we all kind of know that that's just a lie. This game just kind of had it out against them ever since it was announced. I would say the only time this game, I would say, really got any positive spotlight was the first initial trailer when no one really knew what to expect. The first teaser, if you will, with Superman and showing off the squad. I mean, this game is, even thinking back then, I mean, people were upset when Deadshot changed races, even though the game explains why that happened. It's just people were just nitpicking this game from the start, and I think a big problem with this game that a lot of people don't like to bring up is it's just the gap. I mean, we had to wait 9 years for this, and to be honest, in my opinion, I've enjoyed it, but I would say from an average fan and from a big fan of the Arkham series, your average player, this is probably not what they expected to get after 9 years. Because, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, if you waited 9 years for something like this, it's the complete opposite of what we used to get when we were, younger. We were used to story based single player games, but now we get, hey, here's a live service looter shooter, and we really have no idea how our story is going to end. It's a complete change of pace. Now, I wish people would give this game some more positive insight and I would say more constructive feedback rather than just straight up nitpicking. Like, for example, people were like, this game has Sweet Baby Ink written all over it, so therefore I won't buy it. You know who else, you know, helped or had help from Sweet Baby Ink? Spider-Man 2, but you see no one complain about that story as much as Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Now, too, I'm not gonna lie, this game, honestly, I couldn't even imagine the marketing nightmare that Warner Brothers and Rocksteady had to go through trying to market Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, a frickin' shark, and then Deadshot. It just didn't seem to be in the cards. And even from the story perspective, you get to kill the Justice League. Everyone loves the Justice League. We don't want to kill the Justice League. Granted, the Justice League are coming back at some point, and that's another thing too to bring up. I mean, everyone freaked out as soon as Batman died. And everyone said, hey, this is disrespectful to Kevin Conroy, but people need to understand that this game was meant to come out in 2019, 2020, and they finished their voice lines long before the passing of Kevin Conroy. And, I honestly am going to sit here and say, rest in peace to Kevin Conroy. He's probably the best part of the game and a true reason why I bought this game, but it is amazing to me that people use that against Rocksteady as some sort of problem with the game, even though realistically there's a lot more problems with this game than a character, dying. And it's really just a poor timing of events, and it's just such a weird topic that people bring it up as criticism, as it comes, in my opinion, more disrespectful to Kevin, because he even said himself in interviews that he loved playing the bad guy and that he looked forward to this game. Sadly, he didn't get to see it, and it was probably for the best case since everyone just gave this game a big issue. But we also know too that eventually he will come back as Batman in season 4. Obviously his role is going to be a lot smaller, but we're at least going to have that from a fan perspective and from fan service to enjoy those last moments with him as Batman. Now, I guess to wrap up what I'm saying, might make a part 2 to this video if the algorithm hits right and people keep asking about it. But yes, I know this game isn't great at its core, and I've honestly never understood the hate. People sort of just need to back off, I would say, and just sort of read up on what sort of went wrong with this game, and then just sort of go from there. I wish it was a different story with Kill the Justice League, but obviously I can't go on and on about it. Like what I said, don't really understand why this game has so much hate when it truly doesn't deserve it. Obviously Rocksteady, they didn't make the best game, I'm not denying that, but I would say from its core, like what I said, it's a lot of fun. And honestly, if this game does become free to play or on Game Pass, give it a shot. It honestly might surprise you. Anyways though, this is Pineapple Sway, hope you guys enjoy this. Peace out.